Hi, Rancho residents, Rancho Santa Margarita City Council candidate Shawn Gordon here. Some questions that have come up have been specifically around my philosophy, sort of my platform. This kind of a small town and nonpartisan platform is not quite as critical, but I do have one. But I thought I'd explain my general philosophy and where I'm coming from as a follow-up to the ballot measure coverage that I did the other day. So, as a lead-in, when I was 8 years old, my neighbors across the street won a game show, and they won a bunch of patio furniture or something. It was on TV, and I was telling my dad, "Wow, the neighbors, they won all this stuff." And my dad said to me, "Why would you want something that you didn't earn for yourself?" And that has stuck with me my entire life. My dad doesn't remember saying that because it was just part of the philosophy of how he lived. My family has been in the Mormon church since the 1840s and grew up with that sense of service, and this is something, we don't tend to ask for things, we tend to ask how we can help others, and sometimes it's hard to ask for help, and we have to allow others to help us. And so there's times when you need a helping hand, and it's great to be there and provide one, and I love to be able to help people. But I believe in very small government, and I believe in very fiscally responsible government. I think we're all adults. We've made decisions. We know how to live our lives. We don't need to be told what size soda we can drink, or just any number of silly things the government seems to think they need to legislate for us that they didn't used to, and we were just fine. In this particular campaign, my opponents are spending thousands of dollars, and they're raising funds. That will all be disclosed. I've raised no money. I am spending ones of hundreds of dollars to do this, because what I'm doing is I'm thinking outside the box, and I'm doing a very different kind of campaign, and I'm doing that partly because that's just how I am in terms of looking at a situation and looking at a more efficient way to do it, and to get away from doing things just because that's how we always did it. And while our particular city is in good shape financially, there are questions on the table. There are things that seem to take an overly long time to get to. To my mind, there isn't a whole lot of creative thinking, out of the box thinking that's going on. If you look even at the campaigns, just how by the numbers everything tends to get done. So my philosophy is when you have a situation, or if you go somewhere, and this happens when I go to companies all the time, and you look at how somebody is doing something, and it just looks horrifically convoluted, and you ask them why they do it like that, and they say, well, that's just because that's how we always did it. Well, you don't have to do it that way. Let's look at what you're doing and let's make it better. And that's what I am really good at. And I do this for companies all the time. And I always take the time to look at how things are done and see if there's a better way to do it. Let's save money. Let's make it easier. How many things in the course of your day do you just put up with? You don't say anything about it. You just put up with it because that's just how it is. And it's not a matter of complaining. It's a matter of finding a better way to do it. And that's my philosophy. That's my objective, is to take all those things in the course of a day that could be better, more streamlined. And I covered this in my candidacy statement, that you can also watch the video here. And so that's where I'm coming from. That's what I'd like to do. And I've gone a little long. I seem to have been doing that a lot lately. But there's a lot to say, and it's an important election. And I hope you'll vote for me, Shawn Gordon, for City Council coming up. And we're only about 3 weeks out now. A lot of important things on the ballots. Thank you.